Good afternoon from Yummy B TV. Wishing you all well. Of course, now, sad to report on another case that's reached major headlines for all the wrong reasons and bears striking resemblance to the Southport atrocities committed by the Southport murderer. Yesterday, Nicholas Prosper was convicted of murdering his mother and two children siblings. The only difference for those three murders and the three murders that the Southport killer committed on those children was that he has used a gun and the Southport killer used a knife or a weapon of that kind, right? So the striking similarity is this, one of the major features of this case, is that after being arrested, thankfully by the police, they got him early, was that he had other plans to commit more atrocities. And the first one being where the police say they've uncovered severe and definite evidence that he was going to commit this crime, which was to go back to the primary school that he once resided at, that two of the murdered children's siblings were still attending, and go and cause carnage, maim, and murder in that school. We know that the Southport killer, a week before the atrocities at the young kids' dance yoga class, that he'd been on his way to go to his ex-primary school, only to be stopped by his father. So he has been stopped before he has got, Prosper's been stopped from going to the school and committing carnage, simply because the police have done their job really well and arrested him early. Now, they're talking that they're going to make schools a little bit more secure, somewhat, not saying like fortresses where people are just not going to be able to walk in and murder our children and all who attend those premises. But the one thing that strikes me about all this, that even if you built walls, security gates, alarms, more guards, or whatever, it will not stop murderers of this kind committing those crimes, because after all, you can stop them from getting in, but the children and pupils and staff members still have to come out. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to go inside to murder. They could wait outside and do it there. Nothing. It's like, I'm not going to go into it. The kamikaze pilots back in the day, you know what I mean. There's always ways to do things for these murderers to find a way. Now, the sentence that is going to be different from the Southport killer is that he's 19 and the Southport killer was 17 and couldn't get a whole life sentence, got 52 years, right? Because he was too young to get the whole life tariff. Prosper is not underage. He's above that age, which is 19, which I say he gets a whole life sentence. Some will say, but he didn't get to commit the atrocities, what he had planned in the primary school. The suggestion is already there, right? The only thing so far that's baffling me, well, if there was so much evidence, why isn't there a conspiracy charge for that? Maybe it's going to come and maybe another sentence will be awaiting for that. If it does come to that. But for those three murders alone, and with all the other things, material that they have alleged to have found for not just the primary school stuff, but there are other things that he had planned. I say on this one, a whole life sentence, and rightly so.